Welcome to another exciting episode of the Mastercook Celebrity Show. So for this episode, we're here at the Mastercook Academy and we have a very special treat. We have Kevin Riddiford, who is a Mastercook Season 3 judge. He is a restaurateur, owner of Chit Chat Cafe, and we're excited to have him here cooking up a storm and showing us what he can do in the kitchen. We have seen him on the Mastercook show and we know that he can be tough on contestants, but let's see what he's able to do in the kitchen. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Pleasure, Abby. Nice to be here.
Okay, so what is it that you're going to make for us today?
Well, we're going to have a little go and make some homemade pasta.
Okay.
We're going to make a fettuccine, but a green fettuccine.
Oh, nice.
We're going to top that off with, we're going to pan fry a chicken fillet, and then we're going to do something slightly unusual, which is make a cream and lemon sauce with garlic in there as well. Obviously getting the consistency right between the cream and the lemon so it doesn't split is the key. But we'll have a go at that and see how we get on.
Okay, so is this something, is it an easy dish that I can try out? Or anybody at home can try out?
I think you can try it at home. It's something I've created. It's not a classic Italian accompaniment to go with fettuccine. But I thought, just for the Mastercook thing, we can just show people how to make a homemade pasta. It really is quite straightforward. People get scared of that. We'll roll the pasta out, we'll turn it into fettuccine, and then the topping itself, you can pretty much do with any topping you like. There's classic bolognese sauce you can do with it. I thought I'd just do something slightly different. Who doesn't like chicken at the end of the day? So I'm going to do this chicken for you, and we'll put it on top of the fettuccine. Have you can try it. Let me know what you think.
Okay, nice. I'm excited.
Good.
Right, so we can get started.
Right. We've got a couple of elements we need to get started with. First of all, we have to make the pasta. The reason we're making the pasta first is because when we've made it, before we can roll it, we need it to rest a little bit, about half an hour, 30 minutes or so in the fridge. So we'll get started with the pasta. So for the pasta, what we have is a nice dry bowl, and then here I've got 250 grams of flour.
Okay. And can you use any flour, cake flour, bread flour?
Probably a bread flour for just to make sure you're okay with that.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do here is make this into a well, right there. Leave it right like that for now. We're going to make it green, so I need spinach. So I'm just going to get some fire under the pan here. There we go. Get that nice and hot. And let's quickly show you to chop some spinach the quick way. Just fold it in half, down the spine, rip it off. So your spinach is all nice and clean. And then once again, down the spine and rip it off. Keep those bits, you can feed them to the rabbits or whatever. And then once again, so what we've got here now is quite an abundance of spinach. We're not making a huge amount of pasta. As you may or may not be aware, you have a big pot full of spinach. By the time you've cooked it, it's shrunk to next to nothing.
Yeah, true.
So we've got this here. I'm just going to put this into the hot water. What I've got here is some hot salted water. I'm just going to let that wilt down a little bit there.
Okay.
Once that's ready, I'll show you what we do with it. For now, I'm going to use, for 250 grams of flour, 3 eggs normally. I prefer to use 1, 2, and then just going to take the egg white off. 1 egg yolk.
Okay.
That goes in there.
So is there a particular reason that you're only using the yolk this time?
Just because the consistency of the pasta is much better, it holds together much firmer. You don't want it too runny. We're adding spinach into the whole pasta as well. So there'll be an element of water in there as well. Because then you've got to just get it into the flour. If you overdo the liquid element, you've got to add in the flour. Adding flour to the pasta once you've started it is a bit of a nightmare. So just try and get it right from the beginning. So we'll just wait for that to cook off. Right, we've got the spinach coming up nicely, the water's hot. What I've got here, a pan, just cold water, nothing else. I want to get that spinach, as soon as it's wilted down, I want to get the spinach into the cold water to cool off. I want to keep it nice and green, and then I can work with it as well once it's cold. Okay, so I want that to go cold. I want the spinach to turn cold. If I put hot spinach on top of the eggs, we're going to end up with scrambled egg and spinach.
Oh,
So we want to get the eggs, the spinach nice and cold.
Okay. So, so like you said, this is not a traditional Italian dish per se. It's a dish that you created in your head. So, like for example, in the Mastercook competition, when you're judging, I'd like to assume those are the kind of things you look out for.
Absolutely, is what I'm looking for. We're always looking for something ingenious. There are cookbooks, many millions of cookbooks. And we can all go through the cookbooks and we can say, right, today we've got an Indian challenge, or today we've got a Zambian challenge. And you can look at those cookbooks and you can get your inspiration. Use them by all means, but put a slant on it. Put your own signature to that dish. That's really what we're looking for. Somebody who doesn't just recreate what they've read or what they've seen, but
puts their own twist on it. Yeah.
That's what something really ingenious. And I think even things that we've never seen before, we've seen before in the Mastercook, and they've come up with some bright ideas, and it's been really inspiring for us as judges. And hopefully people watching can also get some inspiration and think, okay, I don't like lemon juice, for example. I won't use it, I'll use something else instead. Be creative. If it goes wrong and you don't like it, well, you know what, don't do it again. It's that simple. But if you do like it, adapt it, build it up. Okay, I could do this, I could add some more spice to it, I could add some more herbs to it, I could really make that dish, the sauce maybe slightly bolder, slightly heavier. I can change the meat. Today I'm doing chicken. There's no reason why you couldn't do a pork fillet, for example, even a loin chop, pork chop, or crayfish. Crayfish tails, crayfish meat in the same sauce would work really nicely. So look at what we're doing, take it away with you, and then think, hang on a minute, I think I can do something which I would like, or would be even better. Okay,
no, because I think sometimes we fail to think outside of the box with the recipes. We want to stick to like what's in the recipe book.
No, you're right. There's a fear, I think. Once you've seen the basics, what I'm trying to show you here is the other basics. Now, how to make a pasta, how to make a simple sauce, not using a roux. So I will be using a little bit of flour on the chicken. But I won't be making a basic roux, a flour and butter roux, to make a sauce. Just showing you how to use it. Basically, a little dusting of flour, and we've got some double cream here, and of course the lemon juice. As anybody who's ever been in the kitchen or worked in the kitchen will know, you have the combination of lemon juice and cream is normally a recipe for disaster. I'm hoping I can show you how not to make it into disaster.
Nice. Okay, so how's the spinach getting?
Yeah, it's coming on. Just a little bit of water to the boil, and then we'll be almost ready. It literally takes seconds, and it, like I said before, you'll be surprised, it shrinks almost nothing. So just give that another 30 seconds or so, just to finish off wilting. If you don't want to do it in water, you don't have to do it in water. You could put a little bit of oil in the bottom of that pan, put the same spinach in there, cover it over, and the steam from the spinach and the oil will do the rest and just wilt it down. I'm keeping it open. Normally I would like to cover it to make the process a bit quicker, but of course for the camera purposes, let's leave it open. Be transparent about our spinach wilting.
So I know you're in the restaurant business. How has that been, running a restaurant in Zambia?
It's been interesting.
I'm sure you have plenty of stories.
Many stories, some of which I dare not tell publicly. Yeah, it's been great. It's been a very worthwhile experience. I came from the UK. I trained in the UK. Went to work in London for many years. Worked in a number of the big hotels there, and worked in my basic grounding in the hospitality trade after I'd been to hotel school. I worked in a 5-star hospital, of all things, where we provided hospital catering. We were given Egon Rone awards in recognition for the food service. It really was 5-star. In fact, we had one of the best wine cellars in the whole of London.
At the hospital?
In the hospital.
Wow. So the patients would drink the wine?
Yeah.
Wow.
A full stock bar, 2 bars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, at the end of the day, if you're sick, you're sick. If you've broken your leg, doesn't mean you can't have a beer.
True.
So that was a real grounding. I was there about 10, 11 years. In fact, my wife there.
Okay.
And from there, I came out of that particular trade, and then moved into a little bit of high street catering, you might call it. I worked for a very well-known high street company, Superstore, or you might call it, department store, very well known on all the high streets of the UK, where I ended up as regional manager looking after the Southwest. And from there, moved on to do other great things with, once again, back in the hospital catering trade. But I was regional director for the whole south of England. And then I came to Zambia. Came out to Zambia in 2001.
Okay.
Been here ever since. I was GM at the lodge, and then gave up on the lodge business and opened my own place.
Nice.
So yeah.
So what did you love most about Zambia? The sunshine?
I was brought up in Zambia.
Okay.
So it's really is home for me. My mother was here, although she isn't here anymore. And yeah, so the people, I mean, we've just fallen in love with the place, you know, and it's the Wild West, if you like. We can get 2.5 hours, you're out in the bush. But at the same time, once you're in your working place, it's all very much professional and as it should be.
Nice.
All I've done here, I've transferred the spinach out of the hot water into the cold water. And you saw me squeezing out.
Yeah. All the excess water.
Yeah. I really don't want that at all. So I'm just going to flake this into the egg, which is there. There's no seasoning in here yet. At all. And so that's going in there, like that. I'm going to take this away and I'm going to blitz it.
Okay.
And then I'll come back and we'll add it to this, and then we'll show how to make the pasta dough.
Key Africans Unlocked Season 1.
So, Abby, I blitzed this. What you know was 2 whole eggs, 1 egg yolk, and I put that spinach in there. And we come up with this interesting looking green.
Yeah, it's actually a nice colour.
It's a nice colour. So I'm just going to put a touch of pepper in there, rather. It helps if you're a chef to know what different salt and pepper is. And there's a bit of salt as well, not too much. We don't eat a lot of salt in Zambia. We tend to eat way too much salt. But really, guys, just bear in mind, it's not good for your blood pressure.
Yeah.
Now, the easiest way of doing this, as I told you before, I've made a well at the bottom of there. I'm just going to add this in there. Let's give it. Add that into there, into the well. I've not even used all of it. There's plenty there. Then just stir it. Bring all that flour in together. The fun will come in just a moment.
It really looks a nice green.
It is nice green.
Yeah.
Go to their eyes, Abby. So just bring it all together. See the flour's coming in. Blitzed it. I wash my hands. So guess what's next?
You're going to start kneading it.
Yeah, I'm going to start. You've got to work it in together. What we're doing there is literally just getting the flour to work, getting the gluten to work.
So I have a question. If you don't have spinach, is there any other vegetable you could use? I know, for example, we have our local wandoi, which is very similar to spinach. Okay.
All you're looking for is the colour. And don't forget, spinach is full of iron, so it's really good for you as well.
Yeah.
So the more of those sorts of things you can use and eat. Another one, of course, you can use is you can use a pesto, so a basil-based thing.
Oh, okay.
But don't forget the flavour is much stronger with basil.
Yeah.
So it may not be to everybody's liking.
Okay.
So just bear in mind, if you're going to use basil, please go ahead and do it. But the flavour of your fettuccine will be completely different to what we're going to get tonight.
Okay.
So basically, all I'm doing now is put the flour in there, working it all together. And this process this kneading process, you probably need to give it probably 10 or 15 minutes of kneading.
So is it the same kind of kneading like how you'd knead bread for about that long?
Not very that exaggerated. All I've got now, I'm not adding more flour. All I'm doing is using some dusting flour.
Okay.
And basically you can see
It's sticking to your hands.
sticks to my hands.
Yeah.
So this will go on and on and on like this.
Okay.
Now you're just getting gluten in the flour to work, which we need it to do.
Okay.
Okay, so there we go. 10 minutes of continual kneading. And what you've got now is a nice ball of pasta, which I'm going to wrap in cling film.
Okay.
I'm going to pop it in the fridge.
Okay.
And it'll sit there for about half an hour or so.
Okay.
Just chilling, man. Just chilling things easy. And then we'll come back and work on it again.
Okay.
I'll run it through the roller. So the pasta dough's in the fridge, resting a bit. You need to give it about half an hour really to make sure it's got some chilled a little bit. We're going to work it again in a short while.
Okay.
Then we'll roll it through the pasta maker to make sheets effectively. Once we've got the sheets, we'll cut them into manageable sizes and then we'll run them through the fettuccine maker also on the pasta roller.
Okay. And how, if I wanted to get a pasta roller, where would I get one?
They're available. Certainly you can get them. I've not seen them in the big supermarkets, but there are some specialist kitchen shops you can get them from. Really handy pieces of equipment. I mean, I quite like making my own pasta. It seems to me it tastes nice, it's better, it's a bit more love in it.
And you can mix them around the type of flour, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, if you're on a gluten-free diet and you don't want to use wheat flour, you can
make
use
your own gluten-free pasta.
Oh.
I mean, out there's a variety of ready-made dried pasta, and even ready-made fresh pasta. If you're prepared to pay for it, one thing.
Yeah.
And secondly, for me, cooking, if you're having a dinner party, for example, it's not about throwing it together and getting it out and serving the people. It's all about putting it all together. And if you're making pasta and making it yourself, you're putting a bit of a heart and soul into it all. Not just throwing it together and saying, let's get this out of the way and done. I'm quite passionate about when you're doing your cooking, do it with your heart, and it's not all about just throwing it together, getting out, whether you're selling it, whether you're serving it to your friends as an evening dinner party. Do it with your heart, give your whole to it, and the benefits will come. It's all about what's in here.
Agreed.
All right.
So I'd like to believe running a restaurant and bar, you must have some interesting stories. I have to get at least one interesting story out of you. From the bar, I would like to hear.
All right, let me filter them in my mind.
That bad?
Some are, and then I'll come back to you about one or two good ones.
Okay.
I just got to be careful. I mean, we're talking about individuals, private individuals, people that we know. I might even have to change some names, but I've got some good ones, but I'll filter them out, but I will let you have a little gem towards the end.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So,
right, now we're going to do the chicken. Lemon chicken in a garlic butter cream sauce. I've got a pan on here. I'm just going to try some heat underneath it. That one there. Yeah, there we go. And there. Plain and simple vegetable oil. Nothing more elaborate than that. About a tablespoon. I'm going to add some butter. This is ghee, which is clarified butter. Absolutely perfect. I'm going to add that to the pan as well.
so
Why?
this.
You might ask.
Yes.
Simply because the oil will give me the heat for the chicken. I also want to get a little bit of colour in there as well. So what I'm doing now is adding oil and butter. Oil for heat, butter for colour, and then we'll just prep these up quickly and get them in there, get them cooked off. Then I'm going to just pop them into the oven very quickly, just for a few seconds, whilst we're just finishing off the sauce. And then sit in there and then we'll add them back into the sauce. So chicken feet, glass dish. I'm going to add some lemon juice. I don't particularly want the pips from the lemon juice. Now you can do is squeeze it through a sieve if you really want to. All I do is squeeze it through my fingers, let the lemon juice come out all over the chicken. Like that. And magically, the pips appear. Not only a chef Also a magician. There we go, so a nice little bit of lemon juice. Half a lemon should be plenty. And sure, you can start grating the rind if you want to and all that sort of thing. These lemons often come with a waxy coat, so you might have to give them a good wash first. These don't have that, that's fine. But I'm not even going to use that. This is good. You often see the fancy boys doing all that. So just roll that in the lemon juice. Add tea salt. Raw chicken, just remember, don't you mix your utensils and your cloths. A bit of salt. On top there. A little bit of pepper. Check at the pan, how are we looking? Oil's moving very quickly now, so you know it's hot.
Oh yeah.
And now it's time to take cover. Right. A bit more dusting flour. A little bit of dusting flour on the plate.
Okay.
Okay. I want to dust. Chicken bits. Like that. Once they're dusted, laying it down away from you.
Okay.
If you splash,
It splashes onto the other end.
it'll go all over the wall as opposed to all over you.
Uh-huh.
Again, into the dusting flour. Like that. Don't be too specific about it. It doesn't matter. There's bits of it.
I can actually smell the butter.
Yeah, correct. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll do the last one. Quick wash of the hands, you won't see this top again. You can see there's a little bit of colour coming.
Uh-huh.
That's what we're looking for. Remember, we're doing a cream sauce,
Yeah.
and cream is kind of a white colour,
Yeah.
you can imagine. So with a little bit of colour on the chicken, actually, it's quite a good thing. So we'll just give those a couple of minutes more. We've got some nice colour coming up there. And all I've got is some salted water. I'm going to bring it to the boil, because that will be for the
Pasta.
pasta, correct. Coming on nicely. If you're not comfortable using a spoon, please use tongs, use a spatula, use whatever you're comfortable with. I don't know why, but I always use a spoon for some reason. I guess over the years, fingers become very hardened.
It smells really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it smells really good.
So you're getting the butter, you're getting the lemon, and the chicken's all coming through nicely.
Yeah.
So that's when I can finish off. Like I said, don't eat it now, whatever you do, it's still not cooked.
Okay.
But I'm just going to finish it through
In the oven.
in the oven just to get it done.
Okay.
Really nice. Now you can see some nice colour coming
Yeah.
through. I'm not talking jet black colour, just a little bit of brownness, a little golden brown, like that. You can have a quick peek if you want to. It's almost to the middle. So it's going to go back in the oven anyway.
Okay.
All those bits of flour in the bottom of the pan will come in very handy in just a second. Starting to stick at myself. I think it's telling me something, so just whip them out of there. And into the oven's not on roasting hot. It's on warm enough just to keep the cooking process. This I'm just going to take off the heat just for a second because I need to chop some garlic up.
Okay.
So we're doing a cream and garlic and lemon sauce. So first things first, garlic. Here we go. The easy way to chop garlic is to get violent with it. That lemon juice.
Let me get this ginger. Okay.
Thank you. So put your knife on top flat. The heel of your hand, give it a whack. Take the heel off. And if I hit it hard enough, all that skin would come off. So like the nose. There you go, skin in one go. Take the root end off, knife flat, give it a bash. And there you go. Just like that. Another quick tip. Put some salt on it.
Okay.
Hot garlic. It feels really sticky. Put the salt on it.
And it takes away the stickiness.
Doesn't stick to your knife.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
There you go. So, that's the garlic now. Press it down, press it down, press it down, press it down, press it down. Nice do it again. This knife and this board will be nowhere near that chicken, so we're all good here. And of course, to go and get a new board, clean this board and the knife. You want to make your friends sick. Use the same board, use the same knife for everything.
Okay.
Right, the garlic's chopped. That's another thing, we don't need really put parsley in. But, you know, you're eating garlic a lot, you often get that taste and that scent, so it's not particularly pleasant. Do you want to get rid of that? If you're going home to your boyfriend, for example, you might get a bit of a good night kiss. Put some fresh parsley in it. This is continental or flat leaf parsley. What I've done is I've washed it, I've taken off the big thick stalk from this end. I'm just running a knife through it, fairly rough. Has to be more than enough on these. So just run a knife across there. Can you smell that?
Yeah, it smells nice.
There we go. And all that'll do is give the sauce one little bit of colour. We can use some for garnishing in a second as well. And also when you eat it with the garlic, it just takes away the scent as well. So sauce time. This is the magic bit now. I hope. Once again, fire underneath. Our water. Boiling right. Just going to turn that down a touch. So I'm going to get some more heat back in the pan. A little garlic. As much or as little as you feel comfortable. And what you've got in this pan now is the residue from the chicken fillet that we cooked on, which we coated in flour. That's all in there now. And I'll just put a little bit of garlic in there. I'm going to put a hint, just a little hint
of mustard.
I know people, a lot of people who just, no, not mustard. In that case, leave it out. Not essential, but mustard, if it's a very mild Dijon mustard, so there's nothing really to worry about too much. So we've got the garlic going along nicely. Now, what I'm going to do, let that cook through. And I'm going to deglaze that pan.
Okay.
Very often you deglaze a pan using red wine, white wine, wine of some sort. I'm going to use lemon juice to deglaze the pan.
Okay.
The same technique, 2 fingers. You hear it going in there?
Yeah.
Tickling away. And what it's doing now, any flavours from the chicken that maybe stuck along the pan are coming off really nicely.
Okay.
So there's our pan deglazing. So you should really be able to get a nice.
Oh, yeah, nice smell.
Add a touch of the parsley. Don't use it all. We're pretty much frying it at this stage. We don't really want to fry the parsley.
Okay.
So let it cool in there. Cook it through. I'm going to add the smallest amount
Of flour.
of flour. Sprinkle across the top. It really is less than a teaspoonful.
Okay.
Into there. Wind it up again. Now, here we go. Double cream.
Okay.
Put it in. Put it through. And I'm very glad to report it hasn't split. Why hasn't it split? That little bit of flour. That's simple.
Okay.
It just
It's very
stabilizes.
nice. It smells
the
so
whole thing.
delicious.
Now look at that. There we go. Let's put a little bit more parsley in there, give it some more green. Just a touch, like that.
And I always think that as Zambians, we're so obsessed with using tomato in our cooking.
Yeah.
Like we feel like if you don't have tomato, then you've got nothing. You can't cook at all.
There's not a tomato or an onion to be seen.
And there we have our sauce.
And there's a sauce. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to turn the heat off.
Okay.
Put my spoon in there. Sit down. Want my hand spoon on my towel. Leave it there for a second. The chicken's finishing.
Okay.
What we've got to get on with now is
The pasta.
So clear the decks. So we've got our pasta. I'm going to take a slice, cut it in half. So this one, put it there, out of the way. We've got a piece of pasta like this. Try and get it as uniform as we can in shape. Right, pasta roller. All you've got basically is 2 rollers that run together, and then you can vary the thickness of the roller. I'm going up to maximum to start with. Move the knife. We'll just put a little bit of flour across the rollers, flour on the surface, like that, and then you start to roll it. Feed it in, feed it in, feed it in, watch it come through. And there you've got that's the kind of the colour looking. You can see the grain from the spinach. What I like to do now, I like to fold it into thirds, like that. Turn it 90 degrees where it came out. Same thickness, and just feed it back through again. Like I said, you've got a slightly more uniform shape. So then we can reduce it by 1, so that was number 7, we're on number 6 now. Once again, just a little bit of flour, not much. Through the rollers again. There we go. Reduce it again. See what's coming out? Sorted the grain of the pasta. Now we're down to number 4. Same process, just a little pinch, not too much.
So if you don't have a pasta roller, you can still roll it out.
No reason why not at all. This
By
gives you
hand?
uniformity. That really is an awful lot quicker. Like that. I'm not putting it through folded, I'm just so I can handle it. To the roller. Now I'm going to go down to number 3. And I don't know if you remember, a week or 2 ago I made some ravioli. I stopped at number 4, that felt like it was fine for me. When I gave it to the people that were with me at the lockdown kitchen, they said it was too thick. I stopped at number 4. So I'm going to go to number 3. If it falls apart at this stage, I blame them. Increasing. All creased on one side, so I'll just let it come through. So there we have what will be with the size 3. I'm going to put it through again, but it's getting too long to handle. So I'm just going to fettuccine. If you want a fettuccine, that way you can have it. I'm going to go about halfway. This piece, I'm just going to feed it on the same number 3, I haven't changed it. And here it comes. There's your fettuccine. If you're making lasagna, there's your lasagna sheet. It's that simple. This one I made a bit of a those are 2 sheets. So if you, like I said, lasagna sheets if you like, that very soon, okay, will become fettuccine. So the handle is detachable. Here we've got basically 2 cutters. Fettuccine or spaghetti. So we'll attach this to inside of it are 2 handle spots. I'm using the fettuccine one. Flour over there. Even that up ever so slightly. And then it's not going to roll it any thinner.
It's just going to cut it into shape.
And then pick it up. By some magic, we have fettuccine strips, like that. Once again, take off the odd end, and pop it on top of the cutter. And behind it. And there we have homemade, fresh fettuccine. As simple as that. You see, fettuccine is the long but flat pasta. So there's our fettuccine. The good news is, the water's boiling. As I said, it's salted, just simple salted, boiling water. Take the fettuccine. Drop it into the pan. If you wanted to keep this, you can hang it over a broom handle somewhere, nice and clean and dry. Let it dry off, and you've got dry pasta. And you can just keep it in your freezer if you want.
And how long can you keep it for?
It'll keep it a month or 2. Thinking about this. the orange colour. Sounds quite nice. Water was on a rolling boil, so literally probably take the lid off and put the pasta in, so stop rolling. Put the lid on again in a second. Let that boil. We've had a bit of a clean down. Pasta should be just about done right now.
Okay.
So a quick look at it. Yeah, that is done, rolling along nicely.
Yeah, looks very nice.
I was going to put some more fire underneath our sauce, like that. And this bit of juice we have with the lemons. Put it in there as well. Bring that to the boil.
Okay.
What will happen there is the little bit of flour I put in there, whilst it's been sitting there, it's just been sort of sitting there. I don't want it to skip. So just put a little bit more food on top, just put the lemon juice on top, and it should be all good. If you ever go out to eat and they serve you a sauce, you can always tell if they've made it properly from the base with a flour and egg, flour and butter base, or they're cheated and used corn flour. Because it will come to you and it'll have a skin on top.
If it's corn flour. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
A white skin, almost a white skin on top, always guarantee it. And if they've used a proper roux, so a flour and butter type of sauce, if it's been sitting for a while, it'll start to skin. Also, if there's a big skin on it, it means they haven't cooked out the roux properly, it just needed a bit more work. Just going to check the seasoning there.
Okay.
I didn't bring you a spoon. Oh my word, how nice is that? You have to wait and see.
So the lemon doesn't make the fresh cream go sour?
It hasn't. That's what the whole thing that we're trying to avoid doing.
Yeah.
It's not split.
It's just flavored it.
Yep. Well, you'll taste it in a second. Right, let's get the old pasta out of there. So turn the fire off.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is take it out.
I noticed you didn't put any oil in the water. There's no need for oil.
No need to do it. As long as you've got plenty of water, a rolling boil, especially with fresh pasta, like this. You don't need all that. Give me three. Sure, you can do it if you're cooking commercially made dried spaghetti. Put a drop of oil in the top, sort of sticking together. But
for the fresh pasta, there's no need.
Fresh pasta, there really isn't no need. We're not really cooking enough to make it stick to the side of the pan and everything else. So that goes there. There's our pasta there, just sitting on a drainer. So now we can move a little bit quickly. We don't want that to get too cold. So our chicken is in the oven, and if we've got our timing right, it'll be ready. Ouch, 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 ouch. Chicken sauce. Pop it into there. Right, the moment of truth is upon us. One chicken fillet. Let's have a look. It's cooked.
Oh, nice. Very nicely cooked.
Thank you. Slice it on that angle. Just a bit of a chefy thing. I'll basically just put the cake in the oven to get warm. Plate for service. Fettuccine is done. Off you come. Put the fettuccine on the diagonal, the plate. Like that. Little spinach here. And then your chicken sits on top. Put up the cuts a little bit. 2, 3. Like so. And then oh, that's very quickly. Yes, look at that.
Wow,
Straight across the top.
this looks delicious.
Maybe shine. There you have it. Fettuccine. Spinach flavour fettuccine. Lemon, butter and garlic. Chicken. And a flour.
Wow,
For a flour.
wow, that is amazing.
You get out of the way. Right, Abby.
Okay, wow.
You've got your tools.
Yes, I have my tools. This looks so delicious.
There's a little bit of
I think let me get this. Let me get this. Oh, you can have that one while I have this one.
What do you want to get? Just a little bit of
No, let me-
fettuccine underneath.
Try to taste everything together. Wow.
It's a combination that works well. You've got your starch element from the pasta. You can feel the spinach is coming through, not too overpowering. You can imagine if that was a basil vermicelli, it might well actually overpower the flavour of the chicken completely.
And I can still taste the lemon and the garlic
Come
and
through, hasn't it? Yeah.
the parsley as well.
Yeah.
It tastes delicious. This is delicious.
Brilliant. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I want to go and sit and eat this whole plate of food because it is really so delicious. So I hope you enjoyed the show today and you've learned something about making your own fresh pasta. We'll see you in our next exciting episode of the Mastercook Celebrity Show.